Welcome YouTube channel members. I'm so glad you're here. So real quickly I want to address the question on my shirt, aluminum, barium, and strontium. And that's no longer a conspiracy theory. The CIA came out, I think it was December of last year, and I mentioned that they have, we have a aerosol spraying program that's been going on for years. It's for geoengineering. Shut up about it. So I'm showing you behind the scenes stuff. And this little action you're seeing going on here is sort of a combination between familiarization, acquiring empathy, and charging. And it's just a little routine I've gotten. And of course, I'm already, very well charged and bonded with this item since it's my reading glasses. And this little part, I always just kind of like to show every angle of the target. And yeah, that's a moron move there. Like people didn't know it was glasses. And then just a little stone to kind of rest it against. And normally I would cut this out, this tedious part of balancing. But actually the act of balancing your target really brings home the empathy, or it does for me. Now you'll notice the last thing I see before I close my eyes is the target. I kind of get a mental image of the target. And then this is all inner work you're watching here. Just trying to get all the tension out of the spine, relax, get the mind empty, and an energy breath. And once I take that energy breath, if I can feel it down the entire length of my spine, or all 7 chakras, however you want to look at it, I usually feel like I'm good to go. And here's my first attempt, using sort of a combination of efforts. And when things don't work, that little move you saw right there, the clapping of the hands, that stimulates not only the energy in my hands, but also in the room. And then the little circle thing, I'll explain more a little later on. So here we go. Everything feels balanced. Energy's going well. So I'm expanding my energy, open my eyes, refer back to that mental image and empathy. And then I used a little bit of energy push with some mimicry. You kind of see me lean. And sometimes you'll even see me twitch right as or right before the target moves, and that's a little sensation I feel in my solar plexus, sort of the pit of my stomach. I get a little tickle, similar to when you go over a hill too fast or go down on a roller coaster real fast or something. That little tickling you get in your tummy. I kind of get that sometimes, and that's when I know my connection is spot on. All right, that was a little tedious trying to do all that balancing and everything. Double check the camera, make sure the red light's on. Taking that mental image, the energy flowing, expanding, mimicry, and push, and that's just simply rushing it and trying too hard. I can tell. So I take another mental image, get that spine nice and straight, open up those energy channels. Pull in some white light, fill all my chakras, bring the energy up from the bottom to the top and out, expanding and push. And when it's on, it's on. I mean, that thing drops like a dead duck because it's just, it's just barely balanced there. So I can usually tell right away, if I've got everything balanced and it's working well. And if it doesn't, the trick is to not get frustrated. Just regroup, stick with what you know works, and back to the program. All right, there was a big sigh, just to kind of get rid of all that mental and physical stress of having to balance the target. And we're going to attempt a little bit of the no hands, which typically requires deeper relaxation, blurred vision. Notice my eyes look kind of squinted or cockeyed or what have you. I have to be really sort of third party, so to speak, doing it no hands, not using any sort of conduit. You just have to let everything out all at once, and your vision and your thoughts and efforts, emotions, all detract from that. Here's a no hands push. Boom. Used a little bit of empathy there. There's me kind of snapping back out of my trance, because you really do kind of lose yourself. And quite frankly, that was a 5-minute session with 2 or 3 moves, but it was rather frustrating. So I took a little break, watched the video, did a little more energy work, decided to look kind of boring just sitting on the table, so I brought in the old rose quartz crystal. And then back to the program. The empathy and the charging and the familiarization, touching and feeling every part of the target, finding that ever so crucial balance point and memorizing the weight and distribution of the weight, and trying to hold all that information in my heart as I begin the video. And again, I never know which clips I'm going to use, so I kind of do the whole routine again, just kind of showing the targets and the props. And then back to the balancing, which is no easy task on this crystal, I found out. But again, like I said, the act of balancing really brings you in touch and in tune with your target. So I actually do enjoy this part of the demonstration to a certain extent. And then it becomes tedious, and sometimes it can get you out of your right mindset. All right, there's a go. Letting go of all the tension and stress, acquiring that last mental image, getting all the tension and stuff out of my spine, my shoulders. Obviously wasn't feeling like it was flowing. I could tell as soon as I inhale that white light if it reaches clear to the bottom or not. And when it does, I'll take one more energy breath, pull it up from the Dantian or solar plexus area, expand my awareness and my chi, not only to the target, but to the area surrounding the target, and then start trying with the mimicry and empathy and ghost touch, and just kind of going through the whole arsenal until we find a connection, and voila. That's telekinesis. Unpredictable, but fun. All right, and then, yeah, I'm going to fast forward through this. This was a ridiculously long time spent balancing the target for this one. And quite frankly, I was ready to end the session right then and there. But I continued on, primarily because I knew this was going to be a members video, and you're worth it. All right, so we get the target all balanced. And I know this seems a little repetitious, but repetition is the father of memorization. I think there's a quote like that. All right, a little stress relief after a 3 or 4 minute balancing act. Of course, I am already built up. I do my energy work, my meditation before I start. So it's really just kind of a recap and retap thing that I do right before the move. Most of the work is done prior to the demonstration. But here's a nice fail for you. It looked and failed rushed. I regrouped, gathered, decreased my focus, focused more on the energy around the target, and we got the connection that way. And I was about to call her quits there and thought, you know what? I'm going to plug on through and get a no-hands move out of this demonstration. So back to the balancing act. And this one not so bad, which really helped. You don't have to spend too much time. Just kind of regrouping, getting rid of all the physical tics, the binding in the shirt, the sweat on the chin, anything that might distract you from letting go of your body. A lot of times I'll do this in sweatpants or pajamas, something really comfortable, non-binding. I'm just regrouping, trying to get deep down into that trance for a no-hands move. Feel the energy is balanced and ample. Open the eyes slightly and expand to the full length of my lungs, and then I even tried a little mimicry. And that's a no-go on the no hands. But not to worry. I know it works. It's the same recipe. It's empathy, it's mindset, it's energy. It's getting the correct amounts of all three. That is the key. And another key is not to try too hard. Watch what happens when I give up and quit trying on this last move. Right about there, I figured, oh, not working. And look what happens. Voila! A lesson in quit trying so hard, dummy. All right, I hope you appreciate these behind the scenes, and I hope some of this information is insightful. Thanks for watching. Peace!